Hello, welcome to the Soulbased Dahlia meditation today or this evening, as it may be for you, or for those of you seeing the recording, whenever it may be. I just shared with our wonderful participants here that we're going to talk about the history of dahlia flowers, which a local farmer grew these and brought these over for this. And then the medicinal properties, then we're going into a dahlia meditation. Then we're going to journal. So get your pen and papers. And also, if you feel like doing some art, we'll have some time and then we will share at the end. Great. So I learned a lot more diving back into the history of dahlia. The dahlia is from Mexico and down to Guatemala and Central America. And it grows, I didn't want to dig up my dahlia tubers right now, but it grows in a tuber very related to the potato, which is also a New World crop. And then similar to the potato, it's a food crop. And the Aztecs used dahlia actually to feed a lot of people and animals. And then also the flower motif you can find in Aztec design and pictures. And, there's an unfortunate history, for the Aztec beautiful gardens that you read about. When the Spanish conquered them, they just about destroyed everything, but they did bring some dahlias over to Spain, and it wasn't as layered, I think, the ones that they brought over, and they were looking for it as a food crop, and then it kind of went out of fashion, it didn't work like they wanted it to. And so then in the 1800s, of course, in Holland, they were looking to make different flower cultivars for selling and enjoying, and European botanists, and they started creating different cultivars of dahlia based on the please shut the door, based on the I'm sorry, hold on please, Lydia, shut the door. No, I'm sorry. My teenager is home today. And anyway, so they began to get different colors, and then they brought over in the late 1800s, they found more dahlias somewhere from Mexico, and they found that they were pointed, because I think a lot of the original dahlia that they were breeding in Europe was kind of like an anemone, just kind of single petaled. Then they found a way to get these kind of ball-like petals where you can't really see these black ones, but they're very layered. And they're very pincushion, very much. You want to share yours, Greta. Greta grew one herself, which is like a pincushion type dahlia. And you can see the layers in there, and it's just amazing. And when my friend, the farmer who has an organic farm, grows them, little frogs like to get into these pincushion dahlias and sleep there at night. And so when she comes out in the field, there's all these baby frogs in the dahlia finding a home. And then so when they brought in another dahlia from Mexico, they got this pointedness, and then this kind of like spike where it opens up back out. And we're going to explore that kind of opening in ourselves. And you might want to do this right now, just like arch your back and breathe out and feel that opening, because at the end, when we come up in our meditation, that is when we're blossoming, that feeling of, because you can see they kind of arch back like that. And also the interesting medicinal part, which you might want to incorporate into your meditation, other than being nutritious in the tuber root, the skin of the dahlia has antibiotic qualities. And they knew that, and the Aztecs use it. They actually have Aztec herbaries where they can translate, and they've used it for urinary tract infections. But something that I just read published in July 2023 is that they found dahlia petals have these chemicals that can help with diabetes. And there's these two hormones, and you can ask me about them. I have them written down somewhere here, but they control inflammation. And there's just all this new information coming from the petals. Also, for brain inflammation, can help with that, and metabolism, and long COVID, inflammation from long COVID. So you might want to, if you're experiencing any of these things, go back into a meditation and ask the dahlia flower to bring in this medicine for you wherever you are. You just ask permission and bathe in its medicine, which we're going to ask permission right now for these flowers to share this medicine with us as we go into meditation. Okay, does anybody have anything you want to say or before we get started? Okay, great. Okay, everyone. Maybe get so you can see your nice flower that you grew, Greta, and then Beth, I hope you can see these, and these will help. And just kind of lose yourself into the flower. And if your feet are on the floor, that would be good. Or if you can touch your feet to the floor and feel yourself rooting down into the ground and the ground below wherever you are. And you're just going to follow your feet down into the deep ground. And there's darkness all around you. And you're going to let out anything you need to leave up on the surface. Just leave it and go down into your tuber. And actually today is a new moon. So we're going into the darkness of the new moon to check in with yourself and anything that needs to be attended to. Maybe anything in your body, you need to put breath into that area. You are just a dahlia tuber in the dirt, in the silence of the new moon in Virgo. And it's introspective and interior, and letting go of the details and nurturing yourself with the nutritious dahlia tuber. Anything that needs nourishing. And you just kind of feel this nourishment go from your head to your toe, like water washing over you. And you breathe. And after you've checked in with yourself and nourished yourself and let go with breath of what you need to let go, you feel like the eye of a potato, a little growth eye somewhere on your body, on your tuber. And it begins to form a like white sprout that's looking for the sun. And your tuber puts out roots to hold your place in the ground as the sprout is looking for a place in the sun. And as it rises up, it gets brighter and brighter, and finally it's popping out through the soil, and it feels the shower of radiant sun all around. And you let go your breath through there. And when you do that, you're going up through the surface and begin to form green leaves to transmute that sun into energy for your body and food. And your tuber grows and it feels nourished. and you grow green leaves. And maybe a little rainstorm comes and washes your leaves and feeds the tuber, and your tuber gets plump, and you're feeling fed, and you have the sun comes back out, and you feel wet drops on your leaves that the wind blows away, and you keep growing, transmuting sunshine and water to energy, spreading your leaves out. And you're finding that you need support from a wall or a pole or somehow so you can grow taller and prop yourself up. And that feels really good. You find the support that you need. And when you find the support that you need, you begin to form a blossom. Your leaves kind of bunch up together and get very excited to the potential of a new blossom. And it bunches into a ball, and the ball begins to divide into many, many layers, of which will be your petals, but now they're just green leaves and green form. And they expand, and as they expand, they're creating more petals, more and more layers, building and building, growing, getting nourishment from your tuber, getting nourishment from the soil and the rain. You breathe out again. And breathe in to anything you need. And through your breath, you're going to create your blossom, your own very special dahlia blossom. Many, many, many layers with a secret in the middle. And the layers begin to grow and unfold. And they are petals. And the petals are releasing and unfolding. And as they are unfolding, the colors begin to show, and they're your very own color that you choose. And they might be variegating, it might be solid, and your petals might be pointy, or they might be round, and they might be cupped for little frogs to live in. And they're infinite, they just keep coming. They keep coming to expose this beautiful center, the center you have, which is the potential of what you want to germinate, to pollinate, what you want growth in your life, what you want more of. Petals form dips and cones. And in the middle, you begin to form sepals and stamens and part of your flower that's inviting pollinators. That as you open up, you can undo that, open up and arch with your back, exposing the middle because you are ready to be pollinated. And a bee comes by and you feel it land on your petals. And it begins to run over your pollen. And you can feel it germinating. Creating a new tuber, a new seed, creating abundance. And the wind carries you. And the wind carries the bee. And the energy goes back down into the tuber and back up out, maybe to create another blossom. And you can relax into this blossom for all to enjoy. And feel that pollination and germination of what you want abundance of. And what color you show the world. And you can relax into that and think about how your blossom creates abundance in your life, how your body is nourished. And maybe as you do that, you can invite the Dahlia medicine now that you are a Dahlia. You ask permission for the Dahlia medicine. The tubers might help you with any antibiotic treatment you need, any infection, any nourishment that you need, any nourishment for projects in your life or your health. And we're going to ask the Dahlia petals to share its medicine for inflammation that you might have, to help your brain function better, to help your blood sugar, to help your metabolism. And just feel anywhere in your body that you need Dahlia medicine. And root yourself down again into the blossom, into the tuber. And remember anything you need to carry with you. And thank the Dahlia plant spirit for coming to share the medicine, and that you can ask for this medicine when you need it. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and we're going to ask some questions. Okay. When you are a Dahlia tuber in the dark, it is like what? And is there anything else about the Dahlia tuber in the dark? And when you begin to peek through the dark dirt up to the sun and unfolding, What happens just before? And is there anything else about what happens just before you begin to peek through the dark dirt up to the sun? And you're unfolding and emerging through the soil, growing leaves and transmuting sunshine and water to energy and matter to grow. Where are you? And is there anything else about where are you when you are unfolding and emerging through the soil, growing leaves, transmuting sunshine? And when you begin to form a blossom with layers, it is like what? And petals are released. What color or colors are they? What shapes are they? Is there anything else about your petals or their color? Or their shape? And when you get a support to prop up your blossoms, where is that support? And is there anything else about where is that support? And when you open your blossom and arch your stem to the sun, open to pollination, that is like what? And is there anything else about pollination and creating new growth? And when your new growth is arching and pollinating and growing and blossoming, what happens next? And with all this, what do you know now? And when you're ready, we can either share now, or you can play a little music and delve more into journaling or art, or we can do that after. Maybe, I don't know, what are you feeling, Greta?
I think I would like a little bit of the music, just for a few minutes maybe before sharing.
Okay.
But I'm also happy not to do that if Beth would like to start sharing now.
Oh, sounds good to me, the music. Thank you.
So there's in the chat, I think there's a link to this acoustic music from Mexico, which I will put on the message board underneath the recording. Or
There's nothing in the chat at the moment as far as I can see.
Okay, let's see if I'll put it in the chat again, because I think I guess I did it before y'all got here, so those don't show up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Perfect.
And like we can do, like, five minutes and you can delve into this and have some music and then have some time for sharing. Does that sound good? Okay, great. I'm gonna mute me in case my music blends in, but if you need me, let me know. I'm gonna do some drawing, I guess, too. You'll get a little commercial on that, so hopefully that won't break your thing. But after that, it's very nice. I'm gonna go a little longer, if that's okay, because it won't take us that long to share with this many people. So keep doing what you're doing. Okay, I think I could do that for an hour. So I better, I want to have time to share. But thank you. Are y'all ready? Okay. Who wants to go first?
So I don't mind. I feel very nicely chilled. So thank you. After 2 days training, long days on Zoom, it's really nice actually. I know I'm back on Zoom, but it's actually really nice to just be in the space and not have to think about what I'm doing and just be guided. So I'm very grateful for that. And the music was just really beautiful. So I think for me, when I was thinking about your questions, the question about being the tuber in the soil, that was one of the most resonant experiences for me during your meditation, just thinking about being that tuber just down in the dark, and it felt warm and safe. Felt the right place to be. But it also felt like it was full of energy, little things like this. So the energy was kind of waiting to come out whenever it was ready. And I really felt the energy in my feet and my lower legs. I could feel kind of really rooted down into the earth, and a tingling in my legs. Just, oh yeah, it's like potential. Potential just waiting. And being the flower was beautiful, being the blossom was beautiful, kind of feeling into that movement. And I really love that you brought that movement into this. I also have a favorite flower, which is the echinacea. And the echinacea has got the same, the petals come down, and I always think of the cone coming up to the sun and kind of reaching for the sun. And there was a different movement in this, although it was a backward movement. It was more a surrender than a reaching up, and that was really lovely to experience. And I love going out and watching my dahlias sort of day by day, just coming from this tiny bud, and you think there's going to be hardly anything there, and it just opens, and it just opens, and it just opens and opens, and it just keeps going. And particularly these ones, this shape, it just keeps unfolding. So it was really lovely to try and sort of feel that as an embodied experience. And then there was an interesting thing, like I didn't feel I had a stem. So this is really interesting and really good for me to notice. I'm just making noise. I'll find my note. I can't remember the question you asked. I'm sorry, I'll have to come back to it, I think. But it was just interesting that I went from a tuber to a blossom, but there's no stem, so how can I be there if there's no stem? Yeah. And then I just loved the bee taking, doing the cross-pollination and heading off with, I felt a contentment to just be there as the flower, knowing that the threads of nature will just keep unfolding and will keep replicating, and I can come back down into the earth knowing that it continues. Yeah, it was the answer to the last question. And what do you know now? I need to grow a stem. That's what I know now. And that's great. That's really lovely to connect into that. That has meaning for me. So I think I know what my psyche is getting at. So thank you.
You're welcome. That's beautiful. And it's funny that you said because there was a part of the meditation that had the stem that I didn't put in to embody the stem more, and something in the history that just got and that is, and I'm just going to mention it right now, is that the Aztecs use the stems after, after the dahlia dries up, it gets very woody, and then it's hollow. This one's not the best to show it with, but they can get these really big hollow stems, and they would put water in them. They're very light, and put wax and carry water.
Oh, wow.
Like a canteen. And
That's amazing.
And the stem. So if you're looking for your stem, maybe that would be good inspiration. And if I do this again, I'm gonna make sure I embody the stem.
Yeah.
It's a very important part of the dahlia. And the dahlia needs support too, because as you know, as a grower, it can't stand on its own.
Yeah.
So awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I got lost in making the art. Listening to music was really enjoyable. Yeah, I could just keep going with that. And I also really enjoyed the embodiment of being the tuber in the earth. It felt very peaceful and expectant, kind of like being in a cocoon or chrysalis or something. There was like a motherly, nurturing energy, but also I felt very small and held by the earth too. So it was like this, I was able to give nourishing energy, but I was also like had all that I needed. That was really lovely. It's kind of a quiet energy. I would say my other favorite part was beginning to form that blossom in the stages. I just love how it just felt like a mandala, and it was very satisfying to sort of like feel the petals popping out.
I think Beth dropped off.
Frozen, yeah.
Where I've just been daydreaming a garden so far. And it was a really nice place to be situated. So that was good. And I'll just share the art a little. It was kind of this magenta with red and some darker like edges, and that's starting to come out. I'll keep working on it.
That's beautiful. And so many layers.
Yeah, I felt the layers. Yeah, and it was like that, like Greta was describing, just continue to unfold.
Unfortunately, you dropped out, but I think we got the gist. But something about the garden.
Yeah, I found myself as the dahlia planted in a garden that I've only daydreamed about making into a garden space so far. And it was like a very nice place to be as a dahlia. So that was some good information.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. If there's anything else anyone wants to share, or you can comment on it in the playground or share a picture, that'd be great. And I appreciate you joining me on this first adventure on the playground, and and any feedback you have, I'm totally open to. And I just, y'all inspired me to say infinite layers of possibilities, opening. And how exciting that we have your own grown dahlia. Mine weren't blooming, so beautiful pink.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this.
Yeah, thanks for visiting, and thanks. This farm is it's called Clear Black Flowers, and Clear Black is talking about organic soil. If you ever want to look Claire up to you know, it's just a labor of love, and to get these straight stems like this is not something that
easy.
naturally happens. So
Yeah.
they work very
Yeah.
hard there. But
Yeah.
you know, but I thought they would be inspiring to have. And I thank you so much. And yeah, so I'm hoping to focus on a plant once a month. So hope to see you again.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lee.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Greta.
Thank you, Beth.
Great. Well, I hate to leave, but like, yeah, share anything you like.
Thank
Have
you.
a good rest.
All right. Good night.
Good night. And one more view of the Dahlia, and we're gonna stop recording.